This was my lead this morning about Will Levis, and like you go back to his rookie season, he started in 9 games. He took over for Ryan Tannehill, who's not a career backup.
Okay,
Ryan
played behind Ryan Tannehill for a considerable amount of time.
For like 8 weeks, yeah.
Okay.
He also wasn't a first-round pick.
The argument might be that it's very similar.
But who would you rather have, Ryan Tannehill or Jacoby Brissett?
Honestly, I'd rather have Ryan Tannehill.
Okay.
I think.
And
who's available, by the way?
Yes.
And Chime's right. And Courtney was kind of spot on with it. Will Levis was a second-round pick, and Drake Maye is the 3rd overall pick. I would ask all these people.
Hold on, can I just finish?
Because
they decided to go with him. He gets hurt now, and he has Mason Rudolph, who seems like he can take care of business and help the Titans maybe get a few wins under his belt because he has more experience than Will Levis. And he has a coach that's saying, no, Will Levis is our future. We're going to go with him if he's healthy.
Because we want to know what he can be.
Well, I would ask all those people out there who don't want to see Drake Maye because they're afraid something's going to happen, then they disagree with Gerard Mayo and Gerard Mayo making him the backup. Because I asked Gerard Mayo this on Monday. I worded it a little bit differently, so I didn't really jump down his throat. I know I'm still got to work on my puff questions. I asked Mayo, hypothetically, if something was to happen with Jacoby Brissett, do you have confidence in Drake Maye? And he said, that's why he's the backup.
Yeah.
So I would ask all these people, what happened? What do your recommendation then, if Brissett gets hurt, you would say, don't put Brissett in the game?
Well, listen, I didn't play the game you did.
Yes.
Matt Chatham did.
Yeah.
Rob Ninkovich did.
They did.
So,
I mean, we have as much experience on the offensive side of the NFL as Matt Chatham does.
Nailed it.
Are you able to
And I'm an offensive guy.
Are you able to see enough about what Drake Maye could be when he's a guy who's getting 30% of the reps in practice?
No.
No?
When I get to see what Drake Maye could be is when he actually starts playing in games. Stop playing in games when the situation's not controlled. In practice, everything's controlled.
So how he is in practice is irrelevant.
Yeah, because the practices are not controlled. I mean, the practices are controlled. Real games are not controlled. I would put him in, and I said this. The reason why, here's my pros to why I play Drake Maye this year for all these people who say don't play him. And I'm going to listen, I wasn't a quarterback in the league. Matty Ice was, Matt Ryan. And the reason I would play him is because he gets all the experience. And then you know what it does for me next year? Excuse me. From the front office standpoint, it allows me to look and go, what do I need to put around him for year number 2? Do I need a veteran offensive?
Isn't that clear? You need an offensive lineman.
Right, but do I need a veteran or do I get a draft one? Maybe I could say, okay, I can get a veteran offensive lineman and draft a high wide receiver. Or maybe I could go veteran offensive lineman and draft a pass rusher.
And you're not going to know that until you see what he actually is in game.
You're either getting better or you're getting worse. You're either building something or you're taking it down. And the Patriots, by not placing the next quarterback in actual game action, are punting the future. They're waiting to see what they have because they're afraid of what they will see with what they've built around him. When the whole purpose of taking a quarterback in the top 5 is that you believe they will elevate a roster that was bad enough to be drafting in the top 5 in the first place.
Text from Rhode Island, where we will be Friday for a Flex Friday Roadshow at the Audrain Automobile Museum in Newport. For you, Curtis, and for you, Wiggy, which says Tom Brady, the GOAT, said sit him.
He did not.
What the WTF more do you need?
He did not. He said, when asked about this, that they have dumbed down the offenses so as to get these guys to play sooner. And he prefers the time where they actually learned the offense and had practice and were able to get experience. But he said the NFL has changed.
But isn't that what they're doing theoretically with Drake Maye, is giving him that time to learn the Alex Van Pelt offense?
What is it? Step back and throw the ball to the
Doesn't
other
look
team?
very complicated.
Right, and to
It's actually step back, ignore a couple wide open receivers, and then
take a sack.
and take a sack.
Right.
But to Brady's
Maybe one strip sack.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, okay.
but to
And
Brady's
fall on your own fumble.
to Brady's point, if they dumbed it down, then they made it easier for guys to play right away. Because if the offense is dumbed down, then guess what? It's easier for you to play right away.
Yeah, this is Nate. Morning, Nate.
Hey, good morning, guys.
What's up?
Hey, I don't want you guys to see disappointed. I think when Mayo says the plan, I really think that the plan is to sit this guy the whole season.
Oh.
I mean, listen, you guys, I know it's shocking, but
So
listen,
you're not going to see, other than what you saw in the Jets game and a similar 4-minute experiment, you don't think you're going to see Drake Maye this entire season? You're not going to see him start a football game?
yes, I agree, Greg. I think, honestly, I put my money that you're going to see Joe Milton first before you actually see Drake May.
Oh, my
Okay,
God.
and give the backup more credit. I know.
There's a
I
better
get it.
shot of me
But listen,
replacing Joe
Cody,
Castiglione.
Well, because Joe Milton would have gone in instead of Drake May in the Jets
He
game.
also would be named the backup if you were
Right,
going to see
so
Joe
you're
Milton
not gonna
before
see
Drake
Joe
May.
Milton.
You're never going to see Joe Milton.
Brissett gets hurt, Drake May's playing.
So this is good. Like I said, well, this is going to be the last stint for Jacoby, and I think he's going to go off to the sunset. And honestly, like I said, I think they're going off the numbers based upon throwing a guy in with this, with what you have for a team like this. The percentage is going to show you that that person's going to fail, and they're not going to make it on their first team. That's what it's showing. So I think they're really going to take their time with, especially Elliott Wolf, and they don't want to go down the Mac Jones route, and then he gets burnt out and he goes on to another team.
Wow.
Here's why you play Drake May. Because if Drake May goes out there, and Courtney brought this up, and she asked Mayo this, and she was spot on. If he goes out there and he looks good with Jalen Polk, for example, now when the draft comes along, and let's say you have another top 3 pick, you then can go, oh, we don't need a wide receiver.
We're going O-line.
Let's go to O-line.
Yeah.
Right? Or or if you go out there and you go, oh, Drake May looks good, but he still needs a legit number 1, then you go, we'll take a wide receiver and we'll get a free agent offensive lineman.
Right.
Because you'll be able to see all those things based on how he performs during this season when he plays. When you're sitting him on the bench, now what are you doing going into next season? Are you saying we take a tackle at number 2 or 3 or 1 or wherever you end up? Or
I think there's a danger that this is, for the Patriots, a winnable football game because the Dolphins are in disarray.
Absolutely winnable.
and
They're like
sure.
one of the worst teams in football.
All that does is delay the arrival of Drake May.
Or put him in a situation where he could succeed.
What a boost of confidence
Yeah,
that
you
would be
could-
if a rookie
yeah,
quarterback got a win.
Yes, that would be what I would like them to do. What I'm saying is that they win this football game, then they're going to look at Jacoby Brissett and be like, all right, we can win football games with him as our quarterback, and it's going to just delay. I just, you took him with the 3rd pick in the NFL draft.
right.
He should be playing football.
Right.
He should be starting for your football team. And you're 1-3.
Right.
Why would a fan of this team want to keep watching what we've seen the first 4 weeks?
There's not a lot of unless you're a real fan. Like I watch every
No,
week.
I think being a real fan is telling them they suck and turning them off when they're awful.
Why doesn't the rest of why aren't all the analysts, the experts, the boomers, the Ninkos, the Chathams, all these other guys, where were they? Why weren't they standing on their soapbox saying, don't play Caleb Williams, don't play Jaden Daniels, don't play Drake May,
I think they're going to
don't play J.J. McCarthy,
I think
don't play Bo Nix.
I think their argument is going to be that this offensive line is so bad.
Yeah, but those offensive
now you
lines
have-
weren't good.
You got
The
David.
Bears' offensive line sucks.
You got David Andrews considering it seems like surgery.
No, but I'm saying going into the season.
So that done, finished.
Right.
Like that's the one hope that you had on that line, done, finished for the season.
But, Greg, I'm saying going into the season, you had a better offensive PFF rating offensive line going into the season than Washington. The Bears' offensive line wasn't that great. Denver's offensive line wasn't that great. Minnesota, where were these guys saying, don't put these guys in?
Yeah, I don't
Let
know.
them sit here.
Hello, Joe.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hey.
I just want to agree with the last caller. I don't think we're going to see Drake May, and the reason being is I think Mayo is trying to establish his own identity, and they keep thinking about what Belichick did to Mac Jones. So it's like a tricky situation.
Listen, Joe, I appreciate that. I mean, if that's what he's doing, that's a mistake. Like you don't make your decisions in business or in life based on what somebody else did or didn't do. That's ridiculous.